Namaskar. Welcome to Channel 2020, our very first digital interaction. I'm so delighted that we could be together. We are here to talk about the topic we love the most, computer graphics in general, as well as gaming in very specifics. Before I talk about that, I want to take a moment to sympathize with people who've been impacted by COVID-19. I'm also hopeful that your near and dear ones are well sheltered at home. These are indeed extraordinary moments. And what really makes me happy is that when our industry was called upon during the crisis moment, everyone raised their game and were there with the frontline warriors. The gamers pooled their GPUs to create the largest distributed computing ever. 1 million gamers united to counter-strike COVID-19. As a result, they created a compute performance of 2.8 exaflops. 2.8 exaflops is 5 times the processing power of the world's largest supercomputer to simulate the virus. Folding at home, simulated virus at 100th of a second. Thank you for joining in this historic fight. We have all gathered here today to talk about computer graphics, a topic that we love, and we have made a tremendous impact on it in the history of NVIDIA. As the technology advanced, the expressiveness of the medium has made graphic an invaluable tool to help us understand the world, create and explore a new world, tell stories that inspire us. From science to industry to art, computer graphic has a profound impact on the world. GeForce PC gaming is large and thriving. In our own country, there are over 5 million GeForce platforms. And approximately 4 times of that where people interact with those who have PCs they rented, and approximately a base of 20 million gamers. Stream games have grown by 4x in 4 years. This is just a spectacular growth. One of the reasons PC gaming is growing so fast is because the technology keeps evolving. Being an open platform, developers keep coming up with greater and greater production value from special effects that we add to the games, make games more interesting and engrossing. Let's talk a little bit about esports, the esports professionals and the enthusiasts. Esports is all about responsiveness, the responsiveness of the gamer and the machine. Let me explain. This is Valorant. In this example, the opponent is traveling at 1500 pixels per second and it's visible in the opening only, and I repeat, only for 180 milliseconds. A typical gamer's reaction time is 150 milliseconds from photon to action. You can hit the opponent only if your PC adds 30 milliseconds. Most gamers have latency far more than 30 milliseconds. Many up to 100 milliseconds. NVIDIA, for this reason, introduced the technology called Reflex. NVIDIA Reflex optimizes the rendering pipeline between the CPU and the GPU to reduce the latency by over 50%. Over 100 million GeForce gamers across the world will instantly become more competitive. Valorant, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Warzone and Destiny 2 will be the first set of games to integrate Reflex technology. Esports professionals and enthusiasts, they strive for zero latency. They want fast and furious displays. They're not talking about 60 Hz, they're not talking about 144 Hz, they're talking about 360 Hz. They want inbuilt latency analyzer. Just connect your mouse and it works. Over the next few months, you're going to have many of these displays coming into the country. We've even made a video for you to show a distinction between a 60 Hz to 144 Hz to a 360 Hz. On this video, you can see how 360 Hz display will help you target and track an opponent. For 20 million live streamers, we have something really cool. NVIDIA Broadcast. NVIDIA Broadcast turns any room into a professional broadcast studio. NVIDIA Broadcast is built on AI technology. We've trained the technology so that it can remove the background noise, can improve the special effects at the background, be it graphics, be it image, maybe a video. I have something to show to you. One of our marketeers from corporate, Brandon, has recorded this video for your consumption. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon and I'm very excited today to talk to you about our NVIDIA Broadcast app. Like many of you, I've been home a lot more lately. I've been video conferencing all day and then gaming and streaming all night, and I have a very basic webcam and microphone setup. NVIDIA Broadcast makes these things supercharged with a lot of new awesome features that really bring it out using the power of AI and RTX GPUs. The first one I want to talk about is noise removal. So I've asked my girlfriend to join me with a blow dryer here, and that distracting sound makes it very hard to understand what I'm saying. But when I turn on noise removal in NVIDIA Broadcast, you find that it's completely gone, and that blow dryer is still going. But NVIDIA Broadcast isn't just awesome audio features. There's some really exciting video features as well. Let's take a look. First up, we have the ability to blur your background, which you may notice that I need because I have a very cluttered and messy room. But when I turn this background blur feature on, all of a sudden I get this really classy effect, and I can adjust the strength of that from low to high and everything in between. Or, if I want, I can actually replace the background altogether. Now I'm in a space station with the magic of AI. It's that easy. Or, if I want to jump into some gameplay, I can remove the background altogether and jump into some Valorant. And now I'm playing with a green screen effect without actually having to have one at home. I don't have to play good, but at least I can look good. Now sometimes when I'm video conferencing or doing a just chatting stream, I want to zoom in to get a more personal connection with the audience. But the problem is I bounce around so much, it's easy for my head to get out of frame. With the auto frame feature, it's like having your own personal cameraman that follows you wherever you go. So, if for example, I wanted to reach over and grab my cool Valorant hat and show it to everybody, it follows me every step of the way. I just find NVIDIA Broadcast to be really exciting, as both a streamer and as someone who works from home. The ability to remove distracting noise, improve your background, and keep yourself in the center of the frame are all awesome features in one app, and I just can't wait for you guys to try it.
A new form of art has emerged from gaming called machinima. The artists are taking assets from the games to shoot cinematic themes. There are tons of them on YouTube. People are basically capturing those moments and creating cinematic effects. In fact, some are even creating an entire cinema. We've created an app for you. Have a look. It's really enjoyable. This app will make cinematics amazing. It's called NVIDIA Omniverse Machinima. It's an app built on Omniverse 3D workflow collaboration platform. Omniverse is a universal design tool asset exchange with viewer-based photorealistic path tracing. The engine is designed to be physically accurate, simulating light, physics, and artificial intelligence. We have connectors to most third-party tools, be it 3D Max, Maya, Photoshop, Epic Unreal, Rhino, and many, many more. The Machinima app brings in element and assets from games and third-party collections like Turbo Squid and lets you mix and compose them into cinematics. Creators can use the webcam to drive AI pose estimator to animate characters, add high-fidelity physics, and make materials physically accurate. In fact, I'll go ahead to say that you can do Padmavati and Ram Leela even better. Over the years, many algorithms have been developed for rendering. Amongst them, ray tracing is the most elegant of the lot. has been a holy grail and in search for several years. It's taken NVIDIA 10 years to do ray tracing. The way to think about ray tracing is that light travels all across. It bounces, it refractors, it reflects, and ultimately one ray comes and hits the eye. The ray that comes from our retina and moves forward is, in perspective, our vision. To do this, you require a tremendous computing performance. Other way of looking at this is that the artistic images get superseded by physically simulated ray tracing. Let's have a look. At SIGGRAPH 2 years ago, we announced NVIDIA RTX. Now 2 years later, it is clear that we have reinvented computer graphics. NVIDIA RTX is a full stack invention. RTX starts with a brand new GPU architecture, but is so much more. It includes new engine technology and a bunch of new rendering algorithms. RTX is an absolute home run. All major 3D APIs have been extended for RTX. RTX is supported by all major 3D tools. RTX technology is incorporated into all major gaming engines. There are hundreds and hundreds of games in development and thousands of research papers of new rendering and AI algorithm enabled by RTX. The RTX GPU has 3 processors. The programmable shader we introduced 15 years back. Ray tracing code to accelerate ray triangle and ray bounding boxes intersections. An AI processor pipeline called Tensor Core. Tensor Core accelerates linear algebra. This is used for deep neural network processing. AI is the most powerful technology force of our time. Computers that learn from data and write the software that no human can write. The advances are nothing short of breathtaking. NVIDIA is doing groundbreaking work in this area. You might have seen our work in self-driving cars and robotics. Computer graphics and gaming will be soon revolutionized by deep learning. AI is certain to play a giant role in the future of computer graphics and gaming. The powerful Tensor Core in RTX GPU will let you do AI in real time. Talking about AI, one of the major breakthroughs in computer graphics is DLSS, Deep Learning Supersampling. As you know, supersampling is a technique by which you can increase the resolution and at the same time get more detailing in a scene. In traditional approach, when you increase the frame rates, you dropped the density of the scene. With deep learning through AI, you're able to learn the details and the patterns inside the scene. The AI algorithm learns the scenes and ensures that both the resolution and the detailing increases. Deep Learning Supersampling 2.0 is a feature of RTX graphic cards. We build supercomputers to train a network. A DLSS model is trained on extreme high quality 16K offline rendered images of many kinds of content. Once trained, the model is downloaded to your driver. At runtime, DLSS 2.0 takes in low resolution alias image motion vector of the current frame and the high resolution of the previous frame. To generate high resolution current frame, DLSS has now become one of our biggest breakthroughs in last 10 years. The magic of 3 processors of RTX. Turing was our first generation RTX combining the power of a programmable shader along with RT core and AI core. At its highest end, the Turing performed at 11 teraflops of programmable shading, 34 teraflops at ray tracing, and 89 teraflops of Tensor Core. But today, in the next generation, we have the Ampere, a moment of joy for all of us to talk about Ampere. It's all about Ampere today. Ampere does 2 shader calculations per clock versus 1 on Turing. 30 shader teraflops compared to 11, Ampere doubles ray triangle intersections throughput. Ampere's RT core delivers 58 RT teraflops compared to Turing's 34. and Ampere's new tensor core automatically identifies and removes less important DNN weights. And new tensor core hardware processes sparse network at twice the rate of Turing, 238 teraflops compared to 89. Isn't it a joy amongst us to have Ampere so that we can do justice to the gaming and creative world? The amazing Ampere is built on 28 billion transistors and has 3 processors and double rates over Turing. In simpler words, it's a triple-double. It even connects to Micron's new G6X, the fastest memories ever made. The incredible Ampere. While NVIDIA GPU processing increased by stunning 100,000-fold, the gaming became more powerful technology driver. Gamers grew to billions, and gaming pushed into all aspects of entertainment and culture. If the last 20 years were amazing, the next 20 will seem nothing short of science fiction. Every generation we pack in our best ideas to increase the performance while introducing new features that enhance the image quality. Every couple of generations, the stars align as it did with Pascal, and we get a giant generation leap. If you recall, Pascal was known as a perfect 10. Pascal was a huge success and set a very high bar. But gamers always want more. They want every generation to be more realistic and higher frame rate at the same time. So this time, we double down on everything. Twice the shaders, twice the ray tracing, and twice the tensor core. The triple-double. Result, a 3070, a 3080, and a 3090 that you're going to enjoy selling. Gamers are going to love to use it, and they're going to applaud you for a joy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to have Pascal upgraded to Ampere. In conclusion, not only am I excited about the next 20 years, but I'm absolutely excited about today. With 3 superlative SKUs, 3070, 3080, 3090 in your annual, you have an opportunity to bring big smiles to the gaming world, big smiles to the creative world, big smiles to the artist, and together it will be a joyful experience. I do know Nikhil Kohli has a lot to talk to you, so I'm going to hand over the baton to him. All the best and enjoy the Channel Connect 2020.